here's our website, right? And you go to the thesaurus and it's going to do that. And then you enter in, right? And then you log in. So I have my own login for this, which is, I don't think this is it. Okay, I have to not do it that way. So because I have my own login for this. So we'll just start again. Let's pretend you did that though. Okay, so then you put in your own login, right? And then I log in. Let's go. And see, it already has my thing in there because it's my own way of doing it.
Okay.
All right, so now we're in. Okay, so now this is the first page. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to go for browse one text, click. All right, this is when you're trying to translate, okay? And then you just type in Homer, epic, right? And then you have 3 options, right? Iliad, Odyssey, and epigrams. So you're gonna pick the Iliad. And there we are. And now we're on, and then you can say which book it is. We're in book 1. And line 10, that's what's highlighted. And you can scroll through the books. So if you want to go to book 8, line, I don't know, 35, it'll do that for you, right? So, but we're really interested in book 1. And so there we go. Okay, so then what you do is then you say, okay, I don't know what maiden means. So then you have your options. You want to go for, I'm suggesting you go for Cunliffe because that is a Homeric dictionary. You click that and it opens up a second window because the other window is still there, but then it's going to open up a second window. And then there it gives you the meaning. But in the first window, where is it? I have to maybe make this bigger, I suppose. Yeah, so in the first window, it also tells you what case you're dealing with, right? So it's feminine, accusative, singular. Okay, so that kind of stuff. So if it was, let's say, ulamanane, all right, tells you it's adjective, feminine, accusative, singular. And then you go with Cunliffe. Cunliffe tells you ulamenas, ulamane, ulamenon, from olumi, which means to destroy, and so forth, so good. Okay.
Okay. Very
So
helpful.
that's how you do that part. So that's how, but then the other part, right? The other homework exercise I'm asking you to do is a little more complicated, right? So that one, you're going to go to text search. You're going to pick lemma, right? And the homework I'm asking you to do is to go with Agamemnon. So I think you can just type in Greek, in regular letters, Agamemnon, and then you want Agamemnon because it's the one with omega, and that's all you do. And then you do before you do that, then you see author, right? Homer again, right? And then you don't want the Odyssey or the epigrams this time, so you get rid of them, and then you say go. And that gives you all of the instances of Agamemnon in all of its forms in the Iliad. Okay, so the homework, the homework I'm going to give you is going to be related to this. So you need to know how to do that. Okay, so we will save this portion. I'll when I get the video from this, I will. It is recording, right?
I think so.
Let's just make sure.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Okay, so once I get I'll cut this part so that you guys have this instruction set up already, right? Okay. Everybody got that? Any questions? Okay, all right. Yeah, so that's what you do for that. Okay. And here you can already do it part of the issue, the homework, which I'll show you in a second. I think I've made the homework. Oh, did I not? Did I give you guys the homework? Okay, let's see. So the homework, I made a homework assignment. I don't know if I gave it to you yet. Okay, so it looks like I haven't put it up yet. saving it. Okay, so I will find it. So stop sharing first of all, so I can find it. It's easier for me to, I can't see anything around here. All right, let me find it, and then yeah, where is it? Okay, so I think it would be under the Iliad group, right? Yes, there it is. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna move it in. No, that's no homework. Let me know. Homework. Yes. Okay, I think I found it. No, that's the other guys. This is for you guys. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna open this up and put it on the website now in a second. Just give me a second. Publish. Okay. All right, back to our website. And I'll make a whole page for homework. All right, and so then the first one is embed. Oh. With okay. All right. Publish that. Okay, sorry, I'm just setting this up so you guys can see it. All right, now I'll share the screen again. Okay, so if we read homework, now there's a homework tab. All right, so the first homework, I'm gonna add, like this is a Google Doc that's embedded into the web page, so I'll just add on. But this is the homework assignment for this weekend, right? And so you're gonna use the TLG as we just did, right? And you're gonna set it up as we just did, right? And you're gonna look up Agamemnon as we just did, everything we just did, right? And then what you're gonna do is once you get the results of that, then the goal is to it's gonna support, it's gonna separate it out for you. Let me go back to that web page. Yeah, so here, right? It separates it out for you over on this side in terms of case, right? So accusative, or evocative rather, vocative, accusative, dative, genitive, nominative, right? So what I want you to do in the homework, oh, what happened to my homework page? I guess that's it here. Okay, whatever, we're looking at it here. Okay, so what I want you to do in the homework is, first I want you to identify what is, for each case, so nominative, what is the default position of Agamemnon in the line, right? So if we, for example, go back, right? The default position, of course, is going to be the one that's the most common position, right? And so for the nominative, I would just get rid of all of these other ones, or deselect all, and then choose the nominative. And then observe, well, what's the default position? It looks so far like it's the end of the line, right? So you keep going, and yeah, so just keep going through all the nominatives to see which one is the most common. That is the default position, right? So that's the first thing you have to say. What's the default position, end of the line for nominative? What about vocative? What about genitive? What about dative? What about accusative, right? So that's the first one. Or you might do them under each category first. So nominative, number one, end of the line. Number two, what are the other positions that you see for the nominative, right? So as you've gone through, whenever you saw the default position, non-default position, okay, let's see, we can look at this, right? So far, they all seem to be end of line, right? So just keep going till we get to one that's not end of line. And here's one not end of line. Woohoo. Okay, so that's one of the non-default positions. Look like it's in one in the first foot, right? Second half of the first foot, whatever. It's closer to the beginning of the line. All right. Oh, I thought there was another one there. I saw one. So you want to mark this one. Where is it? Yeah, this guy. Copy it. That's your example of none of the line. Here's another one. You want to copy that one out and keep going until you just keep going through all of the examples, all of the ones that they list there. It's 98, but you got to do it. Whole process. This is a process for its own sake. Here's another one, right? Okay, so you're getting them out of the line. Give the examples of the non-default position, right? And then you're looking for, well, what epithet tends to go with what case, right? So as you're looking at especially the default position ones, you want to see, is there an epithet here that's going with this? If not, if there's not, the end of the line, is there a majority epithet that goes with it? Is he always an oxandrone? What, like what is the epithet that tends to go with his name in this case all the time, right? And then does the epithet seem to be related to the position of the line? So is he only an oxandrone, or what is he here in these default positions? An oxandrone Agamemnon. Is he only an oxandrone at the end of the line, right? With the name, or are there different things, right? So here he's also Kyrion as well, right? So which doubles as an oxandrone. But the point is like, yeah, they're trying to notice what combinations of words go together with the cases of the names, right? And so then also, do certain books use the default position over others, right? So far we've been going through and we noticed that they all seem to be interested in the default position. So where do we see our first non-default position of the nominative of Agamemnon show up? Was it in book 6? Was it in book 25? When did it show up, right? And how frequent are these non-default positions for the nominative in each book, right? So that's what you were trying to get at. And then let's see. Yeah, so don't worry about books that have fewer than 3. It's not relevant, right? It's not statistically significant if they have only 2 non-default position Agamemnons in the nominative, right? But if you start to see like 3 and more, there's something going on in the way they're handling that name. All right, and then which books have the most deviation, right? And then you have make a list of whole line repetitions. So sometimes, or we've already seen this with Apollo when we were looking at last time, right? That sometimes the phrase is just a whole line repetition, right? You don't really see this so much. We're in what book here? We're in book 11, so I'm probably not going to see it as much there. But if we go back a bit, yeah. So oftentimes, so this kind of setup here, right? Ton daut prosepein anaxandron Agamemnon, right? That's a whole line repetition. Because here we see it again. Ton amebita peta. Okay, not there. Here it is. So ton aute right? So that's a whole line repetition. Turns out that whole line repetition is actually an introduction to a speech. Makes sense, right? That every time he's going to introduce a speech, and he replied in this way to him, blah, blah, blah. Right? And so that's going to be something there, right? So anyway, so the point is to look for whole line repetitions. You only need to copy it out once. This is a whole line repetition, and get that done. All right, so that's what you're going to be doing over the weekend. It's going to take a while, but the point is, I want to sear into your minds that you're working with a text that is very different from, say, a free form writing of poetry or even literature, right? That you're dealing with rules that the poet or the bard has to adhere to, that we discovered, moderns discovered by doing exactly this process, but without computer aid. Right. So back in the old days, before our times, when they still had chisels, they had to figure it out the old ways. So we at least can oblige by doing it with computer aid to get the same, to internalize our understanding of what it means when people are talking about the formulaic language of Homer and the oral composition and all of that. So we will get it as an actual experiential thing. Okay. All right. Okay. So now let's get back to our